Hey everyone, it's Hannah and welcome to the Corner of Craft podcast. As I have already said, my name is Hannah. I'm coming at you today from very warm, very sunny Nottingham here in the UK. I've left my tea up here, excuse me. Ouch. Yeah, it's really hot today, so I might regret my wardrobe choice. I've got the window open, so I'm hoping that will help. But the heat wave continues in the UK and various other places around the world. Excuse me, I do apologise for sneezing, but what can you do? You may have noticed that I've changed the name of my podcast. I was the Crafty Chat podcast because I used to do things on my channels once a month called the Crafty Chat, where I would sit and I would chat to everyone whilst knitting and drinking tea, just catching people up on how my month had been. Then I discovered knitting podcasts and I decided to go into the knitting podcast realm, and then my chats became of a more regular thing. Just gonna rotate this just slightly. But yes, I decided that the Crafty Chat one, I don't think I like the name anymore. Don't think the pun was actually ever good to start with, and all good things must come to an end. And two, having the channel The Corner of Craft made sense, and having separate Crafty Chats made sense when I was still filming craft tutorials and such. But I live on the main road, this is going to be really fun. But now that I have kind of gone full force with doing knitting podcasts, it might make more sense to condense everything down and call it the Corner of Craft podcast. So, welcome to the Corner of Craft podcast. I'm not going to bother going back and changing the names of all my other ones, and I'm going to continue the numbers on. Can't remember what number this is. It's like 38 or something, isn't it? Something like that. But yes, this is a knitting podcast, as you can tell by the knitwear and the yarn. I don't have show notes, so I'm just going to wing it and hope for the best. I have a few finished objects today, which is very exciting because it's been a while since I've had any finished objects, which also means I have some new cast-ons, which is too very exciting. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. The links can all be found in the description box below, as well as a link to my online shop where I sell yarn that I've dyed and also stitch markers that I make, and more about that a bit later. And I also have a Ravelry group. In the Ravelry group there is sometimes podcast notes if I remember to do them, but I've been really slacking the past few weeks. But it's also the place where you can participate in knit-alongs, and I'm currently hosting a knit-along which is going to be ending on August the 12th, August the 17th, sorry, and it is the 50k sweater cal. So knit a jumper and put it in the thread and you might win a prize, because I have some. They're in a box just there, ready to be sent away. Woo! Very exciting. The tea I'm drinking today, because although it is the temperature it is, I'm still drinking tea, and I'm drinking it in a Christmas mug. And it's the Christmas mug that Becky of Soprano Knits, who I didn't mention in my last podcast, by the way, whom I apologise. But it's a mug that she gifted me for Christmas, and it's a peanuts mug. But yeah, I didn't mention Becky at all last week, and so now I need to make up for it by mentioning her a few times. So Becky gave me that mug, and the tea I'm drinking in it is by Bird and Blend, who used to be the Bluebird Tea Company, and it is Snowball, and I didn't bring the packet up with me because I am not organised. This doesn't look like it's sitting right on me, and I don't know why, because it should do. I did all the right things. Maybe I just can't remember how to wear knitwear because it's been too long since I put any on, because my increases should be down there, surely. Who knows? Whatever. Meh. It's all good. I'm sure someone will tell me I'm wearing it wrong. It's fine. Such is life. Yes, Snowball. It's a black tea, it's got coconut in it, it's got marshmallows in it, it's got cocoa nibs in it, so it's kind of a chocolatey delight. It doesn't taste particularly Christmassy, so I don't feel too bad for drinking it in the middle of, or it's not August, when it's nearly August. I was going to say the middle of August. It's not August yet. Come on, Hannah, get a grip. But yes, it's not part of the regular collection, so you're gonna have to wait till Christmas. Although they did have a very small amount of it when they had a Christmas in July sale. This week, last week, at some point. I didn't participate. I do not need more tea. Let's go on to the knitwear, because that's the real reason you're here, not to listen to me ramble on about tea. Let's start with finished things. And I finished my hoodie shawl cardigan. This is the hoodie shawl cardigan. It is a pattern by Susanne Sommer, So Knits, and I'm going to try and kneel. Ooh, ooh, that's my knee. Ooh. Dee 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 dee. Here it is. So this is all made out of my own hand-dyed yarn. It's the first like full thing I've knit in my hand-dyed yarn, which is very exciting. So the purple colour is Vicious Mockery, this speckly colour is Blue Slard, and then this turquoisey colour is, I believe it's Water Elemental. I've only had that in the shop a couple of times, so I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I've blocked it evenly at all, but you get the gist. Oops, sorry, just shoving my bust in the camera. But yes, elbow length sleeves, which is perfect. And yes, this yarn was going to be the Shusui Shrug, and I cast it on and knit a chunk of it and then realised I wasn't enjoying the knit, so I pulled it out and then cast this on. Oh, my elbow, and now it is complete. Ta-da! I don't know if it's sitting weirdly because I've knit the wrong size. There's so much noise happening down this road today. It was quiet just before I started filming. Of course it was. I don't know if it's because I've knit the wrong size, even though I think it fits well, or maybe I just don't know how to wear cardigans. I don't know, whatever. I really enjoyed the knit. Last time you saw me, I was just before this bottom bit here, because I had gone wrong and I had to rip it out, because I had done garter stitch instead of reverse stocking stitch, and I'm glad I pulled it out and re-knit. So it's reverse stocking stitch now, and it looks much better than it was looking, because it was significantly shorter. And then I just ploughed on through it. I even did the short rows around the neck. I wasn't going to, but I decided to. I alternated skeins. I alternated skeins on both the Blue Slard and the Vicious Mockery. This is on my Merino 4-ply base, which is 100% superwash merino, and the blue colour, which is Water Elemental, is 75-25 superwash merino. No, it's not. 75-25 superwash BFL and nylon, because I don't mind mixing bases, and it's still blocked up soft. It's got an I-cord cast off, which took an age and a half, but I thought I'd quite like the pop of blue instead of having the speckles on the cast off, and then so I also replicated that on the end of my sleeve. So yeah, after I filmed the last podcast, I've just basically sat for that next week and like marathoned through this. I started watching Once Upon a Time from the beginning. I'm now very far through, so I don't want to embarrass myself with how much Netflix I've been watching, but it is a lot. I really need to sneeze again. But yes, it's been a lot of Netflix. But it does also mean, because Once Upon a Time, just going off topic for a second, has a lot of brilliant knitwear in it. And I kind of want to knit all of the hats, which is useful, because I have quite a lot of yarn here that needs to be used. So I might have to look up some Once Upon a Time hat patterns, and also just some of the ones I already have in my Ravelry library. But yes, I love this knit. It was a lot of fun. There was enough to keep it interesting. I was dreading knitting the border, but you know what? Wasn't that bad. None of it was ever that bad. The only slog was on like this main bit of the body, and that's because I got fed up with purling, which is weird, because I don't even mind purling. As always, I sewed in my ends as I went. I did just cut them all off though, only just, because I like to snip my ends off once they're blocked. And yes, yeah, it's not bad. Quite proud. Quite like it. Feel like I'm going to get quite a lot of use out of it, because it's fun, bright and colourful, but not like, I don't know, obnoxious because it's purple. And like kind of matches my hair, not that you can see I do still have colour in my hair. I got a message on Instagram asking if I still have colour in my hair and that they missed the blue, and thanks very much for your concern. But I do still have colour in my hair. It's just, it's hot, so my hair is up. My roots are my natural colour now, because I think it, I don't know, I like how it looks on me. And also the sun is fading my hair very quickly, so I need to re-dye it, but I'm not in a rush to do that just yet. But yes, I do still have blue in my hair. Anyway, hoodie shawl cardigan, yes, finished thing. I haven't finished anything in a really long time, so I'm very pleased that I have, because the second finished thing that I have is a flax light jumper in tiny size. This is in the 6 to 12 month size. I didn't knit the garter panels down the sleeves. This yarn is Christy of Yarn Cafe Creations. Sorry, Christy, for butchering your business name. I feel slightly embarrassed. And half of the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, which is a podcast she films with her daughter Tristan, who is Dragonlord Yarn. But yes, this is on, I can't remember what the base name is, but it's 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. It's a really old colour. It's called Railcar. I didn't have to alternate rows at all. This is just how it knit up, which is very handy dandy. I have a small bit of pooling right at the top. It's very orange here, and then it's very blue here, but like not enough for it to be annoying. And then it's just evened out as I go on down the body and the sleeves. This is for my cousin's son, who was born in December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So he's 7 months, almost 8 months old. So hopefully this fits him. I don't know how big babies are, but hopefully this fits him for at least a bit of autumn. It's incredibly soft. I mean, I have a feeling it's going to pill a little bit, but it is incredibly soft. So it should be nice for a baby. And it's superwash, so it can still be washed in a washing machine, even if it can't be tumble dried. I will just have to tell her to lay it flat to dry, so it doesn't stretch. But yes, fab jumper. It's got fantastic, like a really good green with some aquamarine blue, a bit of the undyed yarn. I've got some dark brown, fantastic bright orange. That's it, that's all the colours. I gotta watch it, because sometimes I call orange purple and purple orange. I've had this chat before, and I genuinely don't know why I do it, but it is a thing that I do, if I'm not thinking. But yes, this will be gifted to him. Well, I guess not really technically to him per se, because I'm sure he won't be that interested in it, but to my cousin at the end of August, because that is when we're going to be seeing them. So just in time for autumn, yeah. I'm so proud of this. Right, I'm going to sit cross-legged again, so sorry if you see my knee. I'm wearing a very inappropriately short skirt. I mean, it's a fine skirt to wear when I have tights on, but it is not a skirt I can leave the house in with no tights on. But it's been a godsend in this weather, because I'm not a shorts gal. I don't do shorts as a general rule, so I am a skirt person. You don't care. So I do have a technically, I do technically have another finished thing, but I haven't finished it fully because I need to weave the ends in on one of them. So I've woven the ends in on the other, but I need to weave the ends in on the one that I've just finished, because I finished it yesterday. So I was technically meant to be test knitting these. These are the socks that I was test knitting that I couldn't show you. Turns out I could have shown you, but I hadn't got the authorization, so I didn't want to make assumptions. But the pattern has now been released, because I was the worst test knitter in the world. And to be fair, oh, excuse my phone. Tristan didn't say, hey, Hannah, can you test knit these socks? She was like, hey, do you want to knit these socks? So I was just super late to the cast off party, but I've finished. So these are the combat socks, which are socks, long socks designed to be worn with combat boots. Mine are going to be worn with my Converse. Watching the Girls in Neon Cafe's latest podcast, because a lot of people have been saying that the top reminds them of Daleks. She said she was going to go the Dalek route with the bobbles, but then decided to not instead. But the idea is for the top to be like a boot topper, so it's a bit slouchier and a bit bigger, and then to go down into a sock. So I have this much yarn left, which is one reason I was dragging my feet casting on the other, or knitting the second sock, because my scales are broken. I'm full of excuses, but my scales are broken, so I couldn't weigh the first sock, so I didn't know, but I would have had enough, and now I can put this in my blanket, which I forgot to bring down to show you, but meh, we'll save that for another time. But yes, this yarn is actually my own hand-dyed yarn as well. Chromatic Yarns is my yarn company. I don't think I have mentioned that. I dye yarn in colourways inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm a bit of a nerd and really enjoy D&D. So this colour is Rock Gnome, and there's actually an incredibly popular one in my shop, which surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me because I love it so much and kind of definitely want a jumper in it. But this is how it knits up in stocking stitch, and obviously each skein varies depending on, you know, how it is speckled. But yes, ta-da! I will just say, because I did really enjoy knitting the pattern, I did really enjoy knitting the bobbles, and Tristan does have a 15% off code if you go and check out her Instagram. I can't remember when it runs out. It's this week at some point. But she is dragon_hoard_yarn on Instagram. If you were going to knit these socks and you have well, a slightly chunkier calf, because I don't have massive legs. In fact, I've been blessed with pretty good legs. I'll toot my own horn on that one. But the top is a little bit snug on my calves. I'm going to try really hard and like proper stretch it when I block it and pin it, and hope that that helps things. But if I were to knit these again, I would probably go up 1 or 2 sizes on the top and then just decrease down to where I need to be for the rest of my leg, because you increase on this bit anyway, so yeah, you have to increase and decrease regardless. But yes, that's what I would do, because they are, I mean, they fit, but I'm just going to try and block it out a little bit just to make them a little more comfortable. But yes, the bobbles are so much fun to knit. And then it's got this fun little pattern down the leg and the foot, which just keeps the interest going. But it's not difficult at all. I knit a lot of this sock and this one, actually, both of them, when my walking knitting, when I was walking around Nottingham a couple of weeks ago, walking around and knitting them as I went. And I knit this one yesterday when I met up with some friends for coffee, and then we went to the pub, and I continued to knit it, so not a difficult knit is what I'm trying to get at. So yes, the Combat Socks by Tristan Molina, and yes, I really like them. Okay, those are all my finished things. I'll stop, you know, tooting my own horn about how great I am at finishing things, because now I've just cast on a bunch of other things. That's not true, it's not a bunch of other things, just some other things. I always have a glass of water because hydration is key in this weather. Okay, so you've seen this whip before, but I haven't made much progress on it because it is just my sociable knitting. I was hoping to get a lot done at a party that I went to last Saturday, but I spent too much time drinking instead, so I didn't actually knit at all, which is, you know, in all fairness, it's quite a good sign. If I'm knitting in a social gathering, it's usually because I feel slightly awkward and uncomfortable. Unless it is just meeting friends for coffee, then that's different. But if I'm like, if I'm out knitting in a large group of people, then it's usually because I feel slightly uncomfortable and blah blah blah. But not for any reason other than my own brain being an arse sometimes. But this is the sock that I've been knitting, the one that I noticed I dropped a stitch on, which I have caught with a stitch marker and haven't picked up yet and sewn in. I've turned the heel. I've done the New Depths heel, which is my favourite heel pattern. I did a heel flap and gusset on the Combat Socks, and I forgot to say I knit the 60 stitch count. And and I used a 2.5 needle. But these ones is 64 stitches, 2.25mm needles, new depth heel, and I love the new depth heel so much. I increased by 6 as opposed to the full number that the pattern states. It is a paid for pattern, but it is super cheap, and it is a pattern by Becky Sorensen, who is the hostess of the String It Together podcast, and she is known as Soprano Knits on Instagram and Ravelry. But yes, it is a super cheap heel pattern, and it's got full information about how to do the increases, the decreases, because it's got some different techniques, and how to do the heel itself. It is a short row heel, but techniques used are slightly different from anything that I've done before. And she's got video tutorials, she's got photo tutorials, and Becky's patterns are the best because she's just so thorough with them. She's like, oh, there's a stitch you might not know how to do. Here, let me film a video and show you how to do it. Perfect. I like this heel. What can I say? The yarn that I'm using is Babbles Yarns. It is the yarn that I bought from Woolen when I went back in May. And this colour is called Calypso. I was saying last week about how, last podcast, how it reminds me of all the different colours of cabbages. Also, Succulents is another one, and also matches my hair pretty well. I sense a colour theme in my wardrobe. I'm all about colour coordinating because this goes real nicely with it. This is on her Bamboozle base, which I can't remember how much bamboo it has in it off the top of my head. I mean, I could check really. I have another skein of it just here. This is Bamboozle base, 60% merino, 25% nylon, 60% merino, 25% bamboo, and 15% nylon. And this is a different colourway, but there is the label. Babbles Yarns, and yes, I love it. I think it looks really good. I need to knit a couple of inches and then decrease and knit the toe, which I need to do before I have, and then I need to cast on the second sock and get that ready for social knitting. So I went to the cinema yesterday and had no knitting to knit, so that was a disaster. Terrible. But yes, that I haven't made an awful lot. Kind of have. I was here, but all of that was, I turned the heel Saturday morning because I wanted to get it ready for Saturday night. And then I went to a barbecue on Sunday when I was so hungover, like the worst not the worst hangover I've had ever, but it was a bad one. But yes, and I went to a barbecue and with a bunch of people I didn't know and had never met before. So knit a lot of the foot then, so not bad. Right, I'll stop talking about that then. That has been living in my Edinburgh Yarn Festival bag that I bought EYF 2017, which is the first year that I went, and my headscarf is falling off my head. I'm trying to do something. I needed my hair up because it was hot, and I thought, let's do something cute. So I tried to do something a bit cute, but then I realised it's kind of hard to do something cute when I'm this hot. Although, tell you what, this pleasant temperature in this, so I'm gonna just keep doing this. Right, let's grab my other whip, which is just, I'm just gonna lean. I feel like this is going to be quite a long podcast today. I do apologise, I'm over 20 minutes in already. I've still got a little bit to talk about. I'm just in a very chatty mood today, and that is not a bad thing at all. Sometimes I podcast and I'm not in a chatty mood and then it feels like a slog, but I do still think I need to drink my tea. Such good tea. Although I didn't get any marshmallows in my scoop today. I mean, I could have fished some out, but they are vegan marshmallows as well. Oh, I knew I'd do this. I just knit a bit of this while I was making my tea this morning, and then thought, oh, I'm going to forget and be in the middle of a row. And guess what? I forgot and I'm in the middle of a row. So, these are the yarns that I am using. These are both from Knit Crate. These are from the May and June box. yes, Knit Crate is a subscription service whereby once a month you receive a box which looks like this, with 2 skeins of yarn, and I have the Knit Crate membership box, which is $24.99, and that includes worldwide shipping. And so you get 2 skeins of yarn, you get 2 patterns, you get a bunch of discount codes for one of the designers of the patterns. The 2 patterns you get, one of them is crochet, one of them is knit. So even if you don't knit, you can get Knit Crate, the membership one at least. And if you buy, like, you can buy it monthly, or you can get like 6 months, or you can get 12 months. And I didn't realize they did this. I was watching Barbara of Knitting I Love, and she's been doing a few Knit Crate box openings, and yeah, I didn't realize that they did that. But if you buy, like, for example, the 12-month pack, each box is a bit cheaper. If you go monthly, you can, like, pause a box. You can pause it before the payment's taken out, and what have you. But yes, these are the colours I'm using. Let's get back to the whip. Oh, if you want to get a Knit Crate was so kind and generous and lovely enough to offer a discount code to all of you on your first box that you get. So you get 20% off, which is actually a huge chunk of cash, your first Knit Crate order if you use Corner of Craft 20, and if you use the link in the description box below, it will take you there. It is an affiliate link, I will say that, but it costs you no extra. It just supports my channel. That's it. It just means if you click that link and you buy your Knit Crate through that link, they throw a little bit my way. It costs you no extra. It's no effort for you, but it's up to you. If you want to go and type in the website, feel free. But if you'd like to support this channel, feel free. Ding. Back to this. So this is, I've got them both here. I should read the labels. So this is their in-house yarn. It's called La Brevis. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it's how I'm pronouncing it. And this is the Grey Twist colourway. So it's 40% merino, 40% Peruvian Highland wool, 20% nylon. It's 400 meters per 100 grams. And this is a non-superwash wool. And then I got, ooh, the yellow, which is Vida Lana, also an in-house brand. Colourway is bananas. So it's 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 10% cashmere. Also 400 meters per 100 grams. So they are the same thickness. One is superwash and one is not. Such is life, whatever. Just can't go in the washing machine, and I'm alright with that. But what I'm knitting doesn't look like much at the moment, but ooh, I am enjoying it. This is going to be a boardwalk blouse, and as I've said, I'm in the middle of a row, but I'm currently decreasing for the armholes. And that boardwalk blouse is a pattern by Amy Apple, also known as Poison Girls. She does all sorts of like vintage and 1950s inspired patterns. So the boardwalk blouse is just like a cropped top. Not like a crop top, but like a cropped top. It's just got little cap sleeves. I've got quite a few high-waisted skirts, and I want to start wearing more things like that. So I thought, why not make things like that? I thought this would go really nicely with black high-waisted skirt, and it would. So yeah, this is how my yarns are striping up at the moment. And yeah, really enjoying the knit. Not too much to think about at the moment. So you knit the back, and then you put that on some waist yarn, and then you knit the front, and then you join them in the round, and then sew up the shoulder seams, which is a pretty cool way of making a thing. I have made a mistake already. So this is the back, because I didn't notice it till I was pretty far in. But the ribbing that I did, I purled when I should have knit, but no one's going to know. And if you see me wearing this out and about, please don't stop me and say, excuse me, can I see the purl bump in the middle of your knit stitch? Because that's just rude. And also an odd thing to say if you see me out and about. But yeah, this is it so far. Hopefully next time I'll get more done. I really do want it done by the end of my sweater cowl, but the likelihood of that happening is pretty slim. Although this doesn't look like it's going to be that slow of a knit, but I just have lots of things on the go, which is why things don't get knit, because I just cast on new things. Actually, no, that's not true. I have 3 whips at the moment, and one of them is just social sock knitting. So I guess I can't. I just want to cast on all of this. I've been trying to work more in my craft room, which is where you are sat right now. Not you actually, but like the camera and myself are in my craft room. But the problem with working in my craft room more is that I sit just behind where the camera is. My desk is just here, and it means that I look at my yarn all day, and I just want to cast on all of it. So I might talk about future cast-ons in a second. But yes, this is happening. It looks fun. It's all very soft. Although, like, I'm knitting this and thinking, yeah, this will look really great in autumn and stuff. But then I will need like a jacket or a cardigan or something over the top of this. I can't. Can you stack knitwear? Can you wear a knitted cardigan over the top of a knitted top, or is that too extreme? Questions that no one else ever worries about other than me. Okay, let's go on to my final whip before you all click off and decide that I've gone mental. Although I do also need to adjust how I'm sat. My foot's gone dead because I'm chatting too much. Okay. Oh, that's living in my Emerald Fibres bag, which you've heard me harp on about multiple times if you have watched the podcast before. And if you have watched the podcast before, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, hi. I don't do things in a normal order anymore because I don't have podcast notes. My book is just there to write them all in. I just haven't written them. I cast something else on yesterday because I finished those socks yesterday, and I thought I need a new cast on. Where's the logic in that? I don't know. So, a couple of weeks ago I was talking to you about the Tits Out collective that Countess Ablaze did, and people were coming out with patterns and yarns and blah blah blah, and I browsed the hashtag, and then I saw this pattern, which I don't have printed out in colour, but you can get the gist. And I really liked the shawl because it didn't look too complicated, it looked quite simple. I've got some summery colours in my stash. I thought, yes, fantastic. And this is If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Tits Out. It is by Tina van der Berg, who is Wally Hood on Instagram. Or Freckles Speckles, I believe she dyes yarn. I think she dyes yarn. Pretty sure she dyes yarn. But yes, I bought this pattern because it was pretty cheap, and I thought, why not? So I cast it on yesterday, and I knit it a bit yesterday evening when I should have been beading more, but whatever. You're not the boss of me, I'm the boss of me. Self-employment. Kind of want that on a t-shirt. I would never wear it. So the yarns that I am using are, I should grab the yarn labels. I'm going to grab the yarn labels. They're downstairs. I'm going downstairs for you guys. I'm sure you wouldn't care either way, but I don't want to give you false information. And, you know, you've come to terms with the fact that this is not a professional setup and that I'm just trying my best. I'm going to go grab the yarn labels. It will be 1 second for you. Shut up, me. I'm back. So it's by Das Mondschaf, which means the moon sheep in German. I also got this when I went to Woolen. They are both on her Hydra base, which are 100% superwash merino, and colours. So this colour here is Butterfly Effect, which is super cute. And this colour here, which matches my very faded hair, is Disc World, and I did initially think it was called Disco World, and now I'm sad that it's Disc World. And Sabina, I believe is her name. I might be wrong. Or is it Sabrina? Pretty sure it's Sabina. The dye behind Das Monschaf was really good on her booth at Woolen, and just put colours together that went really well together, and I completely bought into it because I saw these two colours next to each other and thought, yeah, these colours are pretty fantastic and go really well, and they do. So, oop, let's try and get this to focus. They go really well together. Oh, my phone is making noise. I've only just started, so don't judge too harshly. But yes. The lighter colour is going to be the netting, and then this colour is going to be the block colour. But yeah, I've only just started, and it's just a bit of simple lace. I don't even know if you can call it lace work. Strategic eyelets. Is that a thing? Are strategic? I guess all eyelets are strategic unless you drop a stitch, and then it's just a hole. Yeah, the shush phone. Tristan, it's you. Tristan, you're chatting to me. Will you stop? It's my fault. It's because when I went to get the labels, I was to nip to the loo and check my phone and chatted. That's 100% my bad. I could put my phone on silent really, but where's the fun in that? It's so quiet you probably can't even hear it, and I'm just getting distracted. Yes, it's great, it's lovely, and I'll stop hitting the tripod. I don't know if I haven't found any mistakes or anything in the pattern yet. I hopefully won't. I don't know why I just said that. Don't know why that was a thing, but it's happening. It'll be a nice, I think it'll be a nice late summer, early autumn shawl, and that's the goal. And that is living in my Fringed Field Supply bag with all of my pins, or many of my pins. Oh look, this little skull is one that I made myself. But yeah, those are my current whips. That is all I'm working on, except for my blanket, which is upstairs, and I didn't go and get that because I needed to go downstairs to get the labels, and I'm not doing 2 flights of my very narrow steep stairs in one go because, well, I do that on a regular basis, but I couldn't be bothered to do that today. I didn't want to be a sweaty mess by the time I sat back down. So let's move on to things that I have acquired in the past fortnight, which is more readily known as stash fattening. So, excuse me, man outside, could you talk a little quieter? As part of the Tits Out Collective, I treated myself to a few skeins of yarn because I wasn't in the right headspace at that time to participate in dyeing anything or making stitch markers for it. I had some ideas floating around, but nothing really stuck, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave it to people who are going to do it much better than I am. And I'm glad I did. So I treated myself. Now I've already shown you 2 of them because they've already arrived, but I will probably be showing you them again because of the plan. But this came in the post. I got smacked with a customs charge though. So this is the first skein of yarn that I have ever bought from the States. I mean, I have skeins of yarn from dyers in the States, clearly. But this is the first that I've actually actively bought and paid for postage on and had it shipped over. So I knew that I'd get smacked with customs. I knew that would be a thing. But it also shows me that I can't buy yarn from the States that often. And I will break it down and tell you how much everything was. So this yarn is by Dragon Hoard Yarn. It is on her Law base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And this is If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Tits Out dragon style. So pretty cool. It's just the pink with the greens and the yellows and a bit of orange thrown in and a bit of reddish colour and a bit of purple. It's just real nice. All the speckles. And $3 of this, I think it was $3, I can't remember how much, went to a charity of Tristan's choice, and Tristan was so kind and generous and sent me a little gift because she's a cutie pie and she knows I love the mint. I mean, I got a relative amount of mint in there. I love the mint. This colour is Calypso, and it is the same base, and it is a fantastic minty green with some neons and brown specklage, and she is beautiful at dyeing yarn. And let me say, this yarn is so squishy and soft. Kind of jealous that this isn't my yarn base. Not to say mine's bad, my yarn base is also fantastic. I just really like her cute little skeins, because if I show you a normal skein, you know, like they're lined up at the bottom. Hers are just so cute and small. They're like smaller than my head. I do have a big head. So this one that I've just shown you is Beehive Yarns, her version of the Tits Out Collective. So the plan is to make a so faded tits out with these three. Ba, ba, ba. And this is Rusty Ferret. I mean, I don't know how well they'll fade. They might end up looking a bit stripy, but I'm excited to find out. So that is going to be a thing that I do. Hey, if I had a boob tube on, I could pretend that I didn't have clothes on and do one of the cool shots, but I don't. I have clothes. I don't know what this is going to be. I did plan a so faded with 3 minty greeny skeins, and I did line this up with them and think, could I? But I think I might save this for something else because it's just real nice. So thanks, Tristan. You're the best. But this is the most expensive skein of yarn I've ever bought. All in all, plus customs, I'm pretty sure this one skein of yarn, although she gifted me another, so it did, you know, whatever, cost I think about £40. And when I tell you that this skein plus postage was maybe, I can't fully remember, but let's say £20. You know, like, it's tough because there are so many beautiful yarn dyers in the States, and so many of my friends in the States who also dye yarn and just make things in general, and I want to support them so much, but I can't, like, I can't justify it, which is a shame because I love Tristan's yarn. I'm just gonna have to go over to the States at some point and find someone that lives near where I'm going and buy loads of yarn and get it shipped to the house I'm staying in. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a fantastic honeymoon idea. Mario would hate me. So I bought another couple of things, but these are not skeins of yarn because, as I have said, I'm trying to use up my stash, which is plentiful. But I did buy some books, which I definitely didn't need. But I've been a fan of this person on Instagram for a very long time. I believe her name is Mohu Shop on Instagram. But she's recently come out with a book. And she makes these cute little nuggets of creatures from crochet. Because I love crochet. I just haven't done it in too long. I thought that these would be really cute, and so everyone is going to get something from this book at some point. By everyone, I don't mean all of the people that watch my podcast, because, you know, crocheting that many little things would take a really long time. I am a bit sad because my book is a bit nushed, and it's got like a, you can't see it on the camera, can you? Maybe. You see this line across here? This is like a protective coating, and it's just not on the bottom bit, so the bottom's getting nushed. Which is a bit sad, but whatever. So this is Mini Crochet Creatures by Lauren. Oh my goodness, I hate when people, I think she's English, so I'm going to say Bergstrom. I really want to say Bergstrom, because that's who I am. But she has some really cute things in here. I mean, look at the little pig. The pig is cute. Sloth is real cute, or sloth, I suppose. Oh, the hippo is adorable. So I've got quite a lot of acrylic in my stash that I want to get through from my amigurumi days. I think this might be the way forward. Oh, yeah, I have to show you these ones. So you can expect some of these happening in my future. And then, because I was on Amazon, which I hate buying things on Amazon so much, but convenience prevails. This book was recommended, and this book's already nushed as well. It didn't come nushed. This got nushed at some point. Not happy. Yeah, whatever. It's going to get used. So this is Edward's Menagerie, and it is by Kerry Lord. It's funny because I actually went to university with someone called Kerry Lord. And it's just a bunch of really cute amigurumi creatures. And oh my goodness, there's a breeze, and it's the best thing ever. And for example, trying really hard not to get any of the instructions in. Chimpanzee. There is such a good breeze happening right now. God, this lion is so cute. And it's all split up into difficulty levels. I mean, I haven't crocheted. And it says, it says what kind of thickness and hook size to use to get various sizes. So I could use some of my, you can't see them, but these are like scraps that I've got down here, like extra little bits from the end of projects. So we can have some very colourful things. Oh my god, this raccoon is amazing. But yeah, if I just show you the back, maybe you get an idea as to what's in it. So I also want to make all the things from here. So the wool that they use to make these is like an alpaca blend, which means that these toys that they made would be the softest things ever. But I don't have a whole host of alpaca in my life. Oh my god, I need to make this for my mother. She loves giraffes. So I think I'm also going to be making quite a few of these. Just for various people I care about. And maybe even some for people I don't care about, just because I really enjoy making stuffies. Oh my goodness, and what is that? Oh, that's a hippo. This sheep is so cute! And all of them have a nice little bio. They've all got a name, so this is Simon the sheep, and they all have a nice little bio. Simon is a meticulous bachelor with little in his life to worry about. Following a minor hiccup a few years back, he swapped his overstretched mortgage for a red sports car, downsized to somewhere with a plasma screen TV bigger than a bathroom, and learned to wakeboard. Basically, Simon the sheep had a midlife crisis. Oh, life as a dentist has never been a bad one. It gives Simon plenty of time to keep on top of his appearance, including the opportunity to check how well trimmed his eyebrows are in the reflection of his customers' highly polished teeth. His future looks bright for a sheep who now has no need to ever learn how to boil an egg. So yeah, Simon the sheep is a dentist with a midlife crisis, and I think that is quite fantastic. So maybe I'll start one of these this evening. No, I definitely shouldn't, because I've got plenty of other things to be knitting. I can't help it. I just had to get this book, you know? I just had to. That was very overdramatic of me. Did you like my dramatic reading of the bio? Tell you what, I feel like in a different life I would have been really good at like audiobooks. I'm just not very good at, I don't know. I can't act for anything, but I can speak in quite an expressive manner. One of my favourite things to do, I always say my favourite thing to do and then it's not my favourite thing to do at all, but something I really enjoy doing is, for example, a time in particular that I remember doing this is when Mario and I went to Park Güell in Barcelona. No one says it like that, Barcelona. And we were given like a little information booklet, so as I was walking around I was doing really over-enthusiastic reading of the thing. This statue over here does blah blah blah, just to Mario, and people looked at me as though I was really weird, and I was really alright with it. Right, that doesn't matter, that doesn't affect your life in any way. Just gives you a little snippet into what I'm like, which is a little bit extreme. So I haven't done a whole lot of beading this week. I had a bit of a panic, I won't lie. Monday. So I'm coming out with some pumpkin everything kits with Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn. And so I had to get a bunch of stitch markers made and sent and shipped to the States, and they took a little bit longer than I'd intended. So they only got shipped a couple of days ago, but I needed to get them finished. And I finished them all on Monday, yeah. But it did mean that the packaging I was going to do on Monday got done on Tuesday, and then I had to sort out the finances, and I had a bit of a meltdown about that because my spreadsheet wasn't working, but I maybe have found another way of doing it. It just means spending more money. So yesterday afternoon, or Tuesday afternoon, and then yesterday morning, and then this morning are only the times that I've been able to do beading, which sounds like a long time, but it's not a long time. So I don't have as much made as I want to have made, but I will hopefully get some more done after I finish filming this, and then also tomorrow. So I'm having a shop update on Saturday at 4 PM BST, which is British Summer Time, which is 4 PM London time, for whichever way is easiest for you to Google that. It will be 5 PM through most of Central Europe, because you're an hour ahead. Can't bother to do the maths on everywhere else. So my website is thecornerofcraft.co.uk. I alternate weeks between a stitch marker update and then a yarn update. Last week I had a chromatic yarns update, and I still have some bits in the shop, so if you are curious to go and check that out, feel free. I did some sock sets of this combination, and there is still some left there. I have some DK weight yarn, which is the first time I've had that in my shop, and there's still a few skeins left, and a bunch of other colours, and I'm looking over here as I'm saying it because they're over there. But this week is a stitch marker update, and these are some stitch markers that I'm going to be having in the shop. They all still need their findings on. The findings that I use are, let me show you one of my stitch markers in action. So the findings that I use are this is one of my stitch markers. This isn't going in the shop, but I use this kind of lever back earring wire as my findings. But these all need findings putting on. I just haven't done it yet. That's usually the last stage, do it all at once. So I have a watermelon bow going in, and the loop is at the top just here, so that is where things will be attached to. It's got stripey on the outside, and then it's a fantastic watermelon colour outlined. So yeah, super cute. You may remember that I came out with some kits for these a long time ago now. It was not worth my while doing kits. My god, took ages counting out those beads. I've also got some bumblebees. I had some requests for some bumblebees for the past 2 updates I did, but I've only just got my yellow beads back in, so I've got some bumblebees happening. And they're super cute, if it'll focus. There we go. And of these stitch markers, I have 3 of each going in the shop. You may notice I have my nails painted, which is very exciting because it means that my nails are growing again, because I'm a nail biter if I see my nails. Halloween is coming up at a surprisingly fast rate. Also, I think I'm just wishing for cooler weather. So I've got some skulls wearing flower crowns going in the shop. They're not strictly sugar skulls at all by any means. They are skulls with flower crowns, because there is no space to do all the heavy decoration on this tiny charm. Yeah. Then, because they were so popular last time, I have a few pumpkins going in. These sold out incredibly quickly, like within 10 minutes of my update going live. So be sure, if you want one of these, that you get in there, or, you know, wait for the next one. The next 3 are all new things as well. So I might make some more unicorns because they're just fun to make and come up with different colours, you know. So I've got my goth unicorn, which I might have to make an extra one for. He has a black mane and then a light grey body, and then his hooves and his horn, which you can't really see in this light, it is a metallic silver, and it is much clearer in person than it's coming across on the camera, so thanks camera. So I've got a few of them coming in. And I do really enjoy the black mane. I didn't think I would, but I do. As in before I made it. Because sometimes you gotta make things before you realise if you like them or not. And the good thing is with these, if because they are on earring hooks, and Grace did this on, she ordered a couple of sheep from me. She, because they're on earring hooks, she ordered a couple of sheep, so you can wear them as earrings. No problem. They'll work. I got some pizzas going in, but they're just like basic, nice, simple. It's just a little subtle spotty triangle, to be fair. I'm slightly conflicted on how well these will sell. Conflicted isn't the word, unsure. I always am when it comes to new designs. Yeah, it's just a little pizza. These ones are tiny, so these ones won't be too much money because they're relatively quick to make in comparison to some of my other ones. For example, this one, which is a shark. And like, I was worried that it was a derpy looking shark. I made it and then took a picture and sent it to Becky, who is like queen of sharks. Because she loves sharks. She is the shark expert. But of course you take your bin in now. Although I do need to take my bin in, to be fair, before a storm hits. Because it's gone very grey. But yes, she said that it's amazing. So we're rolling with it. We're rolling with the derpy shark. And then this one's loop is just up here, so he would hang like this. So he's pretty cute. That's all I've got made right now. I do intend on doing some more beading, like I say, after I finish this. And then also tomorrow, ready for Saturday's shop update at 4 PM BST at thecornerofcraft.co.uk. But yes, very exciting stuff. I do really enjoy making stitch markers. Oh, I'm just gonna rearrange. I've had a few people reaching out for me about custom orders, and I just want to have a quick word. So I do custom orders. General rule is I take payment up front, or at least partial payment up front. I have had some requests for various video game characters and film characters and whatnot, and as fantastic as it would be for me to do that, I do have to think about copyright, and I do have to think about these branded things are owned by much larger corporations than little old me, and I don't want to get bitten on the backside for making something Zelda related or making something Disney related and selling it for profit, you know. If I can get away with making something that is vaguely based on that theme without it specifically being that, then that's fine. But I don't want, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be too worried, because I do Diane inspired by Dungeons and Dragons colorways, and I do name them after like spells and such. But I don't know. To me that's different from, I don't know, beading a Tinkerbell charm, you know? Well, that was requested Tinkerbell, but you catch my drift. So I do custom orders if you would like to order a custom charm from me. My email address is in the description box below, or feel free to send me a cheeky DM on Instagram and I'll see what I can do. But yes. Right, I've talked for such a long time on this podcast. This is potentially the longest podcast I've done in a while. My tea is going to be very cold, but I obviously just had a lot to say to you all today, and that is a-okay. Hopefully you didn't get too bored, or you at least watched it in batches so you couldn't get too bored. I do that. That is what I do on really long podcasts. If a podcast is a couple of hours long, I will watch like an hour of it and then I'll do something else and then I'll come back to it. Also means that if they have ads on their video, they get double earnings from me. Yeah. Right, I'm off skis. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button below. It not only lets me know that you enjoy it, but it helps to get my video out there a little bit more into the YouTube sphere. Also, if you comment on my video, feel free, let me know what you're working on, anything that you particularly like, anything that you don't like, anything in this book that you think I should make in particular, except for all of them, because I probably will make all of them. Oh my god, there's a koala. Stop, I'll stop. Yes. And ooh, it is getting windy. Yes, feel free to subscribe. If you do subscribe, it just means my video pops up in your subscription feed, which is one of the front pages on Google. It means that you are less likely to miss my video. If you want to guarantee that you see my video or any future live streams that I do, because I do try to do them every other week as well, then feel free to hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll get a notification through on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet, on whatever, and it will say the Corner of Craft has started a live stream, or Corner of Craft has just uploaded a video, and then you won't miss anything, because YouTube can be slightly unreliable at times, and that's okay. That's why we love them. If you'd like to follow me on social media, feel free. Links are all in the description box below, as I said at the beginning of the video. Don't forget, you've still got a couple of weeks to join the 50k Sweater Cow. Help me celebrate reaching 50,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Knit yourself a jumper, a cardigan, a short sleeve thing. This stripy jobby, 100% going in the cow. That's why I want it done, even though it's not technically a sweater. Very loose on the rules. Just want everyone to have fun. Got a box of prizes there waiting to be won, so wonderful. Thank you once again so much for watching. Sorry that I've talked your ear off this week. Self-employment, man. You only have a few people to talk to every day. You are my victims. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.